friends, the YouTubers. This is Kurt, and welcome back to the Kurt's Place channel here on YouTube. And I also want to say welcome back to my basement arcade game room. Now, this is going to be a special video I'm going to be bringing to you. This is going to be my Halloween 2021 special. Just a way of celebrating Halloween and everything that I wanted to show you in the game room down here. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to go ahead and give you a tour of the whole game room. I've added a lot of new artwork and things like that down here to the game room. You know, arcade bezels and things I've added down here, and I want to go and give you an updated tour of the game room here for 2021. Let me tell you what games we're going to have online for today for the special that we're going to have. We're going to start out on the skeletal pinball machine. We're going to be playing some Big Bang Bar on the skeletal pinball machine. Coming around here to the Namco 25th anniversary cabinet, we're going to be playing some Scramble. Over here on the Namco Miss PacMan Gathering, the class of 1981 cabinet, we're going to be playing some Millipede. When we come around here, the Miss PacMan cocktail machine, we're going to be playing some PacMan Plus. We're also going to be playing a few spins on the Eve Skill Stop machine. Over here on the Pandora's Box 5S bar top arcade machine, we're going to be playing some Shinobi. Right next door on the Legacy bar top arcade machine, we're going to be playing some elevator action. Over here on the Traveler bar top arcade machine, we're going to have some Pac-Mania, and then we're going to be concluding with some gameplay of Donkey Kong Jr. here on the Heritage bar top arcade machine. Now, I wanted to mention that if you look at my channel, on the top, along the side of the video, so I think I'll be on the left or right hand side of the video, you're actually going to see thumbnails to link to some of the different videos. Now, the ones I'm actually have, I'm going to have a link to the skeletal pinball machine video. There's also going to be a link to the Pandora's Box 5X bar top arcade machine. There's going to be another link to the Miss Pac-Man machine. Then there's also going to be, I'm going to also have a link to the Legacy bar top arcade machine. And then I'm also going to have a link, I'm actually going to show you what the TNT Amusement Company video looked like. I actually went to Pennsylvania to TNT Amusements and got a chance to meet Todd Tucky. I had a wonderful time. I'm actually going to go ahead and show you a video of what the showroom and everything looked like when I went to see Todd Tucky. We actually made a video together, and I'm actually going to have a link to that video in one of the thumbnails here as well. So if you want to check them out, just click on. It's either going to be on the left or right hand side, whichever thumbnail you're interested in. Just click on that, and that'll take you right to the video so you can enjoy it. Alright guys, and also wanted to thank you again, by the way, for tuning into the Kurt's Place channel here on the YouTube. Let's go ahead and get this Halloween 2021 special underway. And as always, again guys, thanks again for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Let's begin by having a tour of the game room here. And as always, thanks again for watching. Let's begin. Let's go ahead and begin by, I'm going to actually show you where the game room and everything is. Now, I actually have my game room located in my basement, down here in my basement. It's really neat setup I have down here too. This is actually where it's located. It's actually in this room right here. And this is actually my basement arcade I've set up down here. Now keep in mind that all the machines in the basement arcade I actually built in-house. The only machine I didn't build in-house is a Miss Pac-Man cocktail machine, but that was heavily modified in my workshop as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and start out here. We're right here we have the skeletal pinball machine. We'll actually go ahead and round to the left, round to the right here, so I can show you some of the additions and things that I've added. Now, this shelf right here actually has a lot of paints and things I use when I paint the cabinets, among other things. But also over here, I actually have artwork over here. Now, let me go and show you some of the artwork I have. Now, these are actually pictures of roller coasters and things that I've actually been on. I love roller coasters, and these are just some of the roller coasters and things that I've been on, or I've been on all over the country. Really great stuff. You know, I have Intimidator 305. This is actually a picture of me actually taken with flamingos. That was actually shot at the Flamingo Las Vegas. I actually have videos on my channel right now of the Flamingo Las Vegas, and of course Intimidator 305. That's actually the first time I ever rode Intimidator 305. They're really great stuff. Then as I come around here, I have pictures here. This is actually the New York roller coaster I have here. And this picture right here, guys, I used to have a 74 Nova. That picture's almost 25 years old. I used to have a 74 Nova back in the day when I was in high school. And as we progress here, now you're going to see I have the caretakers. Now this is actually Mary. Mary's actually here. This is one of my caretakers for my game room. The cool thing about Mary, she's actually animated. When you touch her hand, she actually talks to you. Let me show you. You just touch her hand, and she'll actually talk to you. All right, let's get that.
Get away! Stay away!
And every time you touch that, it has little sayings it says to you.
Hey, you pig! Get off my porch! I don't have time for Halloween night.
And really, really great stuff. Really fits in well with the Halloween theme that I have for this video as well. Now, right next to this, of course, we have the, this is actually the Seaberg digital jukebox that I actually custom built, they actually modified. Now, I bought this machine, and I actually built this machine. When I bought this machine, it wasn't working. What I did is I actually customized it. I took the whole machine apart and basically recleaned everything, rebuilt everything, and basically turned it into a digital jukebox. Now, the coin mix and everything do actually work on the machine, and what it does is you actually select the songs that you want to see from the mouse here. You can actually pick the songs that you want, and there's actually a credit meter and everything on here as well. Now, all the songs that I actually have in here are actually located right here. These are the actual songs that are actually in the jukebox. You can see I have all the little cards here and everything as well too. Now, I put all new lighting and everything inside. Now, what I did is, when I bought the jukebox, the record player and stuff was not working inside. So I actually ended up removing that, and I actually sold parts from the record machine to help people out that maybe had these and wanted to fix theirs. And what I did is I cleaned the entire bottom of the machine out, redid everything, and actually put a computer and everything down here. So now I have a computer down here, and then underneath here I have a 600 watt amplifier along here, along with an equalizer, and it does a really great job providing sound down here for the game room when I have my friends and things coming over as well. This machine puts out a lot of sound. Now, there's actually speakers located on the left and right. I have one over here on this side, and then I have one on this side. Now, you can actually see when I originally started doing this, I actually started caving the ceiling tiles in from the base when I first started doing this. This jukebox puts out a tremendous amount of sound. It's fantastic down here in the game room. Now, when we come around here, you're going to see this is actually my latest photo. I actually got shot when I was in New York, New York. This is actually on the Big Apple, the roller coaster at New York, New York. This is my latest photo that I had taken. Actually, took that back in August of 2021. And then as I come around here on the side here, I actually have my back glasses. I have my Piggy Bankin', my Plum Crazy. These are actual back glasses that go on slot machines and everything as well. Then I also have one from the Sands. And then I also have my Titanic tin frame here. Really cool. They call that Titanic tin art. Very cool. I would positively love that piece. Really great stuff too. Really gives a nice theme to the game room. And then down here I actually have my manuals and things if I have to fix any other arcade machines. I have a work light down here for fixing things, and I also have a shop vac for doing things such as vacuuming up inside the machines and things when I have to. All the pinball videos you see, this is actually my Sunpack 5400 DLX tripod that I use for shooting all my videos and everything while I'm down here in the game room. This thing works positively beautiful for making games. Now, right next to this, you're going to see this is actually my skeletal pinball machine. Now, right now, I'm going to be playing Big Bang Bar this time, but there's actually a video now on my channel for the skeletal pinball machine. There's going to be a link for the skeletal pinball machine. Like I said, on the left or right-hand side, there's actually going to be a thumbnail for the skeletal pinball machine. And you can see that turned out really well. It has a computer and everything that runs it. And this allows me to, and you're going to notice if you go to my channel, I have a lot of pinball videos already on my channel already. If you want to check those out, just go to my channel, look under Visual Pinball gameplay videos. You can actually check out different games I've played on Visual Pinball as well here on my skeletal pinball machine. Now, as we go around the corner here, I actually have the other side of the game room, and then I'm going to come around and show you what's next to the pinball machine as well. Now, this is some of the new artwork that I added this year. Like I said, I went to TNT Amusements in Pennsylvania and got some really neat back glasses and things to put on the wall. Now, this is actually a cabaret, a cabaret edition back glass from Dig Dug. Really worked out well. And right next to that, of course, I have my 25th anniversary PacMan Cabaret arcade machine here that I actually built in my workshop. Turned out really well. Now, when I do videos down here, this is a machine that Lester usually plays on. When we do dueling arcade videos, I actually have side-by-side machines. This is normally the one that Lester plays on. Then I have the one I play on next door. And then up on top here, I also have my Kurt's Place channel clock. Now, I do have merchandise available. If you want to help show your support for the Kurt's Place channel, just look under my video description. You can see links to the Kurt's Place channel store. You can get things such as clocks like this, hats, mugs, keychains, and other things from the Kurt's Place channel store. As we come down here, you're actually going to see this is some more things I got from TNT Amusements. I got a Donkey Kong arcade panel overlay. And then I ended up getting a Super Pac-Man arcade bezel that I really like, for the actual marquee glass. Marquee glass turned out really neat, really filled in that area really nice. And then right next to that, now this is a cabinet that I primarily play on when I'm down here. This is my Namco PacMan Galaga 19 class of 1981 reunion cabinet. Now this is actually a full-size cabinet that I actually built. This originally was a Pac-Mania, but I actually converted. This is one of the first machines I actually converted over to be able to play all my main games and stuff that I played on here right now. But this is one we're going to be playing some Millipede on today. And then as I come around here, now this is what it was on the other side of the pinball machine. This is actually a bowling, actually a check. I won a big bowling tournament when I won the Bowl America 2018 June 10th Star of the Year award. I won that tournament actually by 9 pins, and I won $1,500, and I got a really, really nice trophy. Right next to it, of course, I have my Coca-Cola bottle. Everybody has to have a Coca-Cola bottle down in their game room. Now, right next to that, these are two new pieces I have as well. On to right of this, this is another thing I got from TNT Amusements. This is a Donkey Kong Jr. arcade bezel for the actual machine itself. Right next to that, I have a Donkey Kong bezel right next to it. Really, really cool stuff. And then these little necklaces that are hanging here. This is actually when the Pac-Man Championship Edition cabinets came out, the 4-player ones. I actually got a chance to meet some representatives I actually had from Namco, and they actually gave me these 2 little keychains right here. Really, really cool stuff here when they were doing that. And then down here, I actually have my little PacMan player. Now, there's actually a video right now that actually shows you. If you go to my channel, just look at my unboxing videos, you can see what this PacMan player video looks like, what that actual game actually looks like. And right next to it, now this is actually my Miss Pac-Man cocktail arcade machine. Now I actually bought this machine from TNT Amusements, but what I ended up doing was I wanted to turn it into a main machine. So I ended up basically, I had to completely rebuild the inside of the machine. Everything on the outside is more or less the way I got it, minus the extra buttons and things I had to add for the main games for 2 players. There's actually 6 buttons on each side. There's also stereo speakers on the left and right on both sides of this cabinet as well. And then of course, and the coin mechs and everything do actually work on this. I have them actually tied in so they actually do operate with the MAME as well. And you can see the bezel glass and everything on top is really nice. Now this time we're going to be playing PacMan Plus. I can play all the games on this that I play on my other cabinets from this one as well. And you'll see it turned out really, really well. Now, I also ended up putting new lighting and everything underneath here too to light up the control arcade panels and everything as well. So that's a really, really nice piece. And then right next to that I actually have my my Crazy Winners slot machine backglass that I actually have now. And then as we go over here on the bar top side of things, this is my Eve skill stop machine. I'm actually going to have a little bit of playing on the Eve skill stop machine as well. Got a few tokens here I'm actually going to be able to put in it. We're going to actually do a little bit of playing on this as well. See if we can line anything up there. So that's my Eve skill stop machine. Now right next to it, this is my whole family of bar top arcade machines. There's four of them down here in the game room. Plus I have one upstairs too. The first one, this actually is my Pandora's Box 5S bar top arcade machine. This is actually the first one that I have. This actually runs a Pandora's Box 5S card inside here, and I think there's almost 900 games on here, different games. We're going to be actually playing Shinobi this time. Now, this next one in line, this is actually my Legacy bar top arcade machine. This was actually the machine that I built that was dedicated to my dad. It's got dual joysticks and everything, and this time we're going to actually be playing some elevator action. And right next to that, this is actually my Heritage bar top arcade machine. This was actually dedicated to my mom. This one here also is we're going to be playing some Pac-Mania. Now these two machines, the Heritage bar top arcade machine and also the Legacy bar top arcade machine, they're all running Raspberry Pi 3s, and they're also running what they call RetroPie to actually run the games. Then the final one I have over here, this is actually the Traveler bar top arcade machine. This is also running my my RetroPie as well, and also it's running on a Raspberry Pi 3. So there you go, guys. So there's all the machines that I currently have down here in my game room down here now. Right now, really, really cool stuff. I have storage and everything over here. I'll show you what's in here. I actually have storage and everything here. I keep extra computers and everything in these boxes. In addition to that, I also have additional keyboards and things like that. I have monitors and everything in here as well to keep the games and everything running. I don't have too many problems down here keeping everything running, but you can see it. This game room is really, really nice. Very, very complete down here. And also I have 2 chairs. This is the one that Lester normally sits in, and then I have the one that I sit in right here. Now these machines, the one thing that's unique about my machines, these are all designed to be able to sit in a chair when you play these. most machines are taller because they're full size. These are full size, but they've been reduced in height so I can allow me to be able to sit in chairs and things while we're playing down here. Now, I used to be able to like to stand when I'm playing arcade machines, but because I'm having some issues with my knees and things, I basically had to customize the machines so I can sit down when I play them. Now, let me turn the light off and show you what what it looks like at night. It really comes to life when you turn the lights out. So now you'll see how cool everything looks. So when you come in the room here, now you're going to see how neat everything looks. And like I said, I added all the artwork and everything too. And you can see how complete this game room looks. Really, really great stuff. So there you go, guys. So there you get a chance to see my basement arcade room for 2021 for this Halloween special 2021. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start getting some gameplay action and everything going down here. We're going to start out by playing some Big Bang Bar on the skeletal pinball machine. All right, guys, let's get started. And as always, thanks again for watching. Let's begin. All right, this time I'm actually going to be showing on my skeletal pinball machine. This time we're going to be playing some Big Bang Bar made by Capcom. I'm actually going to go and show you the backlash and the playfield, though we'll actually begin some gameplay here on Big Bang Bar. Big Bang Bar was a really, really cool game. It had a really, really neat back glass and everything as well here. Really, really cool stuff. And you can actually see there's actually flames. This is actually an animated back glass. There's actually flames and everything here that actually move along the back of the glass here too. Really, really cool stuff here. Always thought that this was a really neat game. Let's check out the playfield. Now, one thing I always loved about Big Bang Bar is I like all the effects, like the neon tube and everything they have in here. Really, really great stuff. This machine positively has hilarious animations and things that go along with it, and all of the things are animated here in Visual Pinball as well, such as the bar and everything. These characters and things, they do turn around. The girl does move around, the dancing girl inside the glass tube. She dances as well. And I love all the unique features it had, like the ball busters and everything like that. Really, really great stuff. Really cool ramp shots and everything as well, too. This is just a really, really neat game. Now, I don't know how rare Big Bang Bar was. I think this is actually a pretty rare machine. If you know how rare it is, leave it in the comment section down below. I'm really curious to hear how hard this machine is to actually come by. I never got a chance to play one in real life, but the Visual Pinball version is a lot of fun. All right, let's go and begin some gameplay here on Big Bang Bar. Begin some gameplay here on Big Bang Bar. Now this machine is hilarious. You're going to hear the animations and stuff in this game are absolutely hilarious. Now, keep in mind that the skeletal pinball machine does have amplified speakers, so it really fills this room with sound beautifully on this machine as well. Let's begin.
Hey, player one, do I tell her you're here? Welcome to Big Bang!
Now you're going to see how much fun this game actually is. This game is hilarious.
Let's scan for fame!
Yow! Damn! Oh!
Her spacesuit's working overtime. Look at the planets on that Loda Boomba. Up there!
Martian Martini!
And the game modes are hilarious.
Wanna throw some darts?
Yow!
Nobody can beat me.
So long. Player one, don't look behind you. Hey, pal!
Moldy Brawl. It's like Moldy Ball, but it's Moldy Brawl. Hilarious.
Here's the box. This is our tipping booth. The more you dance, the more you score.
And you can see how great the voices are in this game too. Beautiful voice work too.
It's happy hour. Hit 'em all, baby. Come on, drink up.
Yeah, look at.
Bye-bye.
You can see how neat this game is. It has lots and lots of features. Very, very cool stuff.
Hey, player one, where you been?
Oh, you just got lucky. Ooh.
Oh man!
You ready for another here?
I actually got lucky. I actually had to save on it. I really can't.
A tooth?
Shoot the right orbit. Luna Palooza.
You can see this game is loaded with features.
I'll throw you down to the underground. Multi-brawl. Funky.
And even the moldy balls are great.
Son of a... Adios.
I'm willing to pour.
So what do you think of that game, guys? That's pretty awesome, huh?
Oh, my.
Some guys have all the luck.
I like to fly big rockets.
So there you go, guys. So there's Big Bang Bar. Like I said, if you get a chance, I highly recommend you try that. Really, really great game, guys. All right, we'll catch you on the next video, guys. And I want to mention, too, by the way, if you want to help show your support for the Kurt's Place channel, I do have merchandise that's available in the Kurt's Place channel store down below. There's a link in the Kurt's Place for the Kurt's Place channel store in the video description down below. You can get things such as hats, mugs, and keychains. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. All right, now we're going to check out Scramble. This is another classic game I remember playing back in the day. Now, Scramble was actually made in 1981. When I played Scramble, this game was, even when I was 11 years old, this is one of the games that I loved playing. It was made by Konami in 1981. And one of the neat things about Scramble was it had a really neat challenge to it. You know, you try to see how far you can get through the different stages and everything as well. You know, they have the score table here. One of the main things is you want to try to keep as much fuel as possible, as many of these fuel things as possible to keep your fuel going along the way. And you're going to see on the top, there's actually stages. You're trying to get from first all the way to the base. Each stage is a little harder than the last, and also they vary too. Each one varies a little bit differently from each other one too. You're going to see in this video. Let's begin. And that's one thing I love about classic games like this, because back in 1981, they were much more limited on what they had to work with than they do now. And that's one of the things that I love about these games. How much they could actually squeeze out of what they had. Really, really great stuff. You guys see here how they, what I was saying about how they vary the stages. Really, really great stuff. And I also remember playing this on, game on a lot of consoles too. I remember that too. Now you're going to see how the stages change. That's what I love about this game, the way it changes stages. Love that. Now, of course, the higher stages you get on, the more difficult it is. And these especially, like when you got right around 4 and 5, you're going to see it gets quite a bit harder actually being able to navigate all these. Now you're going to see things like here, like coming up here, where you have to actually thread the needle. It's really tough. You got to time it just right. You You see how tough that is? You got to have it just right to get through there, too. And you can see, even though I played this thing, it's still tough getting through those stages. I still have a hard time getting through those. There we go. Oh! Almost made it. Let's see if we can get it this time. Almost got it. Oh! So there you go, guys. So there's Scramble, another really great game. Highly recommend that you get it if you get a chance. Play Scramble. Yeah, you'll love it. It is a great game. It's a classic. You know, it's from 1981, but it's one of those classic games you never forget. Guys, also want to mention too, by the way, that I do have merchandise available. If you want to check out my merchandise store for the Kurt's Place channel, there's a link in the video description down below. You can get things such as hats, mugs, and keychains. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Alright, let's go begin some gameplay now on Millipede. Now, Millipede was made by Atari in 1982. I was actually 12 years old when this game came out, but I do remember this quite well. I was living in California when this game came out, and I remember there were two versions of this game. There was a version that had a designated cabinet that was a Millipede designated cabinet, but then they also had some versions in Centipede cabinets that had a kit. You could play either Millipede or Centipede in a Centipede cabinet. There was actually a kit that the arcades actually installed. Very, very cool stuff. You essentially got two machines in one spot. Very, very cool. I like Centipede and Millipede both, but Millipede's great because it has a lot of added features and things too that make it even more involved than Centipede was, which is one of the reasons why I like it. And like I said, I do enjoy playing both games. Now, somebody asked me how do you adjust the trackball sensitivity. All my games in my game room, for the most part, use X-Arcade trackballs. Now, some of my bar top arcade machines are using Suzo Hap trackballs. On the main versions that I have, like I'm running here, there's a screen that you bring up here that has what are called analog controls. Any game that has analog controls is going to have this screen that's going to come up. What you do is under analog controls, these are all your sensitivity buttons. Now, I normally leave the digital speed and the reverse alone, but the track-wise sensitivity, I usually put at 255. The track X sensitivity I put at 255. Now you can lower these. The lower the number, 255 is the maximum sensitivity. But if you put this like at 155, it's going to be less sensitive. You just adjust it to whatever sensitivity you want, and you'll be able to do that when you highlight it. You'll actually be able to use the joystick to go up or down. All right, so let's go and begin. Now it always started out fairly simple in the beginning, but you're going to see this game ramps up in difficulty pretty quick. When I'm in the bottom of the screen, what I try to do is I try to keep as few mushrooms down here in the bottom as possible. That way it makes it easier for me to shoot all the centipedes and other things coming down. And if you hit those DDT bombs, they blow up everything around them, and that can be very, very handy. Now you'll see right now, it's fairly simple right now. It's not too fast, not too frantic, but you're going to see that's going to quickly change. Now there's a DDT bomb there. I'm going to try to see if I can hit that. There we go. And I also want to mention too, by the way, somebody asked me, most of the trackballs that I have in my game room, I have 2.5 and 3-inch trackballs in my game room. I don't really have any of the mini trackballs on my cabinets, but I've heard that they work pretty well too. Now you can see it's already starting to speed up now. Now, see, this is what I was saying. This is what I love. Like these enemies that come down sideways. Love that. Love the fact they added that in. Really cool stuff. And if you hit the inchworms, what they do is those actually, it's almost like you're slowing time down. Really, really great stuff. What a neat touch that was, you know? Just beautiful programming as well. So you see, this is a really, really cool game. Now, like I said, you're just seeing the early stage of this game, but believe me, it's tough now, but it gets even worse as you get into the higher levels, too. So there you go, guys. So there's Centipede, a really, really great game. If you get a chance, I highly recommend you give this game a try. Great game to have in your game room as well. Now, I also want to mention, too, if you want to help show your support for the Kurt's Place channel, I do have merchandise available. If you want to check out the merchandise, my merchandise, just go to my channel under the video description. There's a link to the Kurt's Place channel store. You can get things such as hats, mugs, and keychains. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Now we're going to go ahead and play some PacMan Plus here on the best PacMan cocktail machine I have down here in my basement arcade game room. This is another game that was really neat. PacMan Plus actually came out in 1982. It was made by Bally. This was actually a kit that they would put in Pac-Man machines, and I always thought of PacMan Plus as being like Pac-Man with a little bit of spice added to it. Really, really neat. Had a lot of great features that Pac-Man had, but it also had a lot of fun new features added as well. Things such as like the fruits would change, like they would have like the Coke cans and things for the fruits and pies and things instead of the fruits. Certain screens you would eat a ghost, you would eat an Energizer and all the ghosts would change. Sometimes not all the ghosts would change to blue. Things like that. Sometimes the screen would go blank when you would eat an Energizer. You'd have to find your way around. Really neat things. You'll see here in this gameplay here what I'm talking about when I talk about all these features. So let's begin. I also like the fact too that when you eat the different items and things that it acts like an Energizer too. I always thought that was cool too. Really, really great stuff. Now you're going to notice there when I eat the Energizer that not all the ghosts turn blue. That's something you have to be aware of, because if you eat an Energizer and you're expecting all the ghosts to turn blue and they don't, you can get caught by surprise. Now I am playing the hyperspeed version of PacMan Plus. You can also play PacMan Plus with the regular speed as well too. At the end of the video, I'll show you how you adjust the speed of the game. I know some people are going to wonder how you do that, and I'll show you at the end of the video how you actually adjust the speed of the game as well here using main. And you see how the ghosts disappear there where you can't see them? That's one thing I love about this, the fact they do that. Really, really cool stuff. And now we get our first cartoon. And the cartoons are very similar to the first one. The only one of the differences is he actually has a little flag on his head. Really, really cool stuff. Now, one of the really cool things about having a cocktail machine in your house, like having a cocktail version machine in your house, is when I used to play at a place called Shakey's Pizza. Shakey's had it was a gamer's paradise. Shakey's actually had 5 cocktail machines in their game room. It was amazing. We used to eat. I remember we used to eat pizza when we would play this. We would actually have pizza at the same time we would play this because it was a cocktail version. And that's one of the reasons why this works so well in my game room. It really brings back those memories. Now you see here how the screen there went blank. That's the sort of thing that the enhanced version does, that the PacMan Plus does that the original one didn't. And that's one of the reasons I really like PacMan Plus. Now, see, there they all change, but sometimes they don't always. You can never make an assumption that when you read a Power Energizer, they're all going to change, because sometimes they don't. And that's one of the things that makes PacMan Plus kind of fun, is the fact that they don't always change. You see there how the screen went blank? Really, really cool stuff. I call that the blackout screen. Really, really great stuff. And I love the fact that when you eat an item, it actually turns them as well. That the items actually act like energizers as well. Really, really cool stuff. All right, we get another cartoon. Now, somebody asked me if I use patterns too, when I play this. I try to use as many patterns as I can remember, but the thing is, I don't remember all the patterns, so I just use what I can remember. And that's what I love about how it goes black like that. So you can see it's a pretty cool game. It's got a lot of neat things to it. what do you guys think of PacMan Plus? Pretty neat, huh? Oh! He's fast. Oh. There we go. Ah, there we go. So there you go, guys. So there's PacMan Plus. Now, I had somebody ask me how you adjust the speed in MAME on PacMan Plus. I'm actually going to show you. What you do is you actually go to MAME. You find out the version of MAME that you're using. I'm using MAME 136. And what you do is you download a cheat file for the MAME version that you're using, and you put it in your MAME file. And they'll show you how to install it under the MAME documents. They'll actually tell you how to install that. When you get MAME, there's documents that come with you. They're like PDF files. We'll tell you how to install it. When you have it installed, you actually go to your menu, and there's actually a thing here called Game Cheats, and you're going to see that on there. You're going to select Game Cheats, and then under Game Cheats, this is where you're going to have all your things, such as your Enable Speed Hack, which I have enabled on, and finish this level. You can even select Infinite Lives, Invincibility, all these different things under the cheat code. Now, different cheat files are going to have different cheat codes available for the game as well. So what you have may vary from game to game, but that's how you go from regular speed Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man or even Pac-Man, the game I'm playing right now, the Pac-Man Plus. You can most of the Pac-Man games do have adjustabilities for hyperspeed or regular speed if they're like the regular versions like Pac-Man, Pac-Man Plus, Miss Pac-Man, those type of games as well. Alright guys, thanks again for watching, and I also want to mention too, by the way, if you want to help show your support for the Kurt's Place channel, I do have merchandise available. If you want to check out the Kurt's Place channel merchandise store, there's a link to the video description down below. You can find things such as hats, mugs, and keychains. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye guys, see you next time. Alright, now we're going to go now and play some gameplay here on the Pandora Spots 5S Bar Type Arcade Machine. We're going to actually play some Shinobi from 1987, made by Sega. Really great game that Sega had in 1987. And also, Sega had this available on some of their home consoles as well. Now, what we'll do is I'll try to get through the first boss for you here to show you what it's like. Really, really cool stuff. And when this game came out, I was 17 at the time when this game came out, and they used to have this at a place called High's Dairy Store. I used to play this all the time. I used to love it. This is one of the games I remember playing. Sega has really, really great games, and this I always considered a classic. Now, at the end of after these first two stages, then we're going to get a chance to fight the big boss man. But you can see it's a fairly challenging game. A lot of it has to do with timing your moves and everything just right. Now we get a chance to fight the big boss man. Now you can use your super ability, but you want to try to save that for as long as possible. Here you just have to try to time your moves accordingly, so you launch your stars and everything and hit them in the head. It just takes timing, and it's not always the easiest thing to do. Sometimes I have to use a continue to get through it because he can be tough. Now I'll use my superpower, and I think I can get him. Let's see. And we got him. Now you actually have a... Now you get a chance to get an extra man here. This is what's really great. Try to see if you can get all of them so you get an extra man. It's not always easy to do that. It takes a certain amount of finesse to do it. Ah!
Mission 2.
See, it's a really neat game. A lot, and it has different locales and things too. That's another thing I like about it too. Now, this is Sega's gaming. It's Sega gaming at its best. So there you go, guys. So there's Shinobi, a really great game. Highly recommend you get a chance to play that. Now, I want to mention too, by the way, there are other videos on my channel as well of the Pandora's Box 5S. If you want to check those out, just go to my channel, look under Pandora's Box 5S. You can check those out as well. All right, so there we go. Now on this game, when I want to go back to the main menu, what I do is I just hold the 1 and 2 player button together, and that actually will bring me back. To the main menu that I have here. And this is the Pandora's Box 5S home screen. Isn't that neat? Really great stuff. Guys, and I also want to mention too, by the way, if you want to help show your support for the Kurt's Place channel, I'll do a merchandise available. If you want to check out the merchandise store, just look under the video description down below. There's things such as hats, mugs, and keychains. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. Hope you all have a great day now. We'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye now. Let's go and begin some gameplay here now on elevator action. This is another one of those classic games I remember playing when I was growing up. Now, elevator action is actually a fairly simple game. You're basically in an elevator. You're in a building using elevators to go down the building to the ground floor and trying to rescue all the secret plants inside the building. Very simple game, but a lot of fun as well. You can do things such as you can drop lights on guys for extra points. You can kick them. You can shoot them. Whole bunch of great things there. This is another one of these classic Tato games. Really great stuff. And I remember I played in a competition at a game room one time. I remember we used to have a place called Fun and Games in California where I used to live. And I actually won a tournament. And I actually got $10 worth of free tokens back then. That was a lot of money back then. I got $10 worth of free tokens for having the high score. I thought that was really great. One of those memories that I have of this game. Really great stuff. And I think my high score was only like 32,000. It wasn't a huge score, but it was enough to win the tournament. Now here's one of these doors, and you want to get the secret plans out of those doors. And you're going to find that it's important to duck in things too, because these guys, as they shoot, you can duck some of their bullets and things too as they shoot at you too. So as you can see now, I'm going down the building, and each building gets a little harder than the last one. Now, one of the things that's really neat is you can actually crush them with the elevator as well. If you time it just right, you can actually get them underneath like this. See that? You can actually flatten them out with the elevator. I always thought that was really neat. I always thought that was great. But you also have to be careful because you can get crushed by the elevator too. You have to be careful that you don't get yourself wedged in between there. And to control the elevators up and down, you use your joystick for up and down movement of the elevators as well. Now this is a fairly easy level. You're going to find that they start getting, as you get on higher levels, they start getting more difficult. Now I'm going to try to drop. Now see how I dropped the light on his head there? That's always fun too, to drop a light on his head. Always enjoyed that too. Now you have to remember that you can't if there's an elevator cable in the way, you can't jump through there. It'll kill you if you try to jump through there. So you have to wait till it clears. But isn't this a great little game? Another thing too I liked about this game is I could go for a while. I could go for a while on a quarter, which I also like too. Now when you get to the bottom, then you actually get a chance to escape in your little car and you go to the next round. And then you also get a bonus for completing the building as well. Now if you forget one of the red suitcases, it'll take you back to the floor where you missed it. Isn't that a great little game? Now we go to the second building. Now it gets a little harder than the first, a little harder. Each one gets a little harder, a little faster. And sometimes you actually have the guys now, they'll actually duck. They can actually lay down on the ground as it gets hard on the higher levels. I don't know if they can do it in this low, but I think they'll be able to on the next one. You'll see it makes it even harder too. Also, they can reload faster now too. But isn't that a great little game? Let's see if I can get one underneath the elevator here. So a lot of times you can when they're like this. Let's see if I can get one under the elevator. Oh, there you go. Oh, I love that. Oh! Now, see how he's kind of timing himself? He's waiting for me to move. It's getting a little harder now. Now here I can actually jump between floors. See, that's long, but you got to be careful that you don't hit yourself in the elevator above. You have to make sure you have a gap between you and the elevator above when you do that. And there we go. Now we're on level 3. Now it gets considerably harder than that last level we were on. And you're also going to notice too, the thing I like too is I like the fact that the color inside the building changes as well with the levels. So I always thought that was neat, you know. Taito always had a very interesting bunch of color palettes that I always liked that they used in their games. I always thought that was really cool. Now see, I have to be careful that I don't get on top of the elevator, because if I get on top of the elevator, I can get crushed underneath that floor as well. So you got to be careful of that too when you time your moves and stuff, just accordingly. Oh! So you see, it's getting a little harder now, but it's also what makes it fun too. Oh! Now I'm going to show you here what happens if you miss one of the cases. Now if you miss a case, this is what happens. See, it takes you to the floor that you missed. I always thought that was kind of neat. There we go. Nice. That's good. That's great. So what do you guys think of elevator action? Pretty neat game, huh? Oh, there you go. So guys, so there you go. So there's an elevator action. That's another one of those really great games. If you get a chance, highly recommend that you play that one. Really, really great game. Now, I also want to mention, if you want to help show your support for the Kurt's Place channel, I do have merchandise available. If you want to check out the Kurt's Place channel store, look in the video description down below. There's a link to the Kurt's Place channel store. You can get things such as hats, mugs, and keychains. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye, guys. See you next time. Alright guys, it's time for some PacMan here on the Traveler Bar Top Arcade Machine. Now PacMan is a little bit different type of PacMan game. It has a lot of the same quality as PacMan has, but one really cool thing is it's in 3D. And you also have a jump button so you can actually jump over the enemies as well. Now, one of the keys to getting high scores in Pac-Mania is there's a thing called a double up pellet. It's a pink pellet that you get on the first level. When you get the double up, you want to hold on to that as long as you can. As long as you don't die, you'll continue to get double ups on all the ghosts you eat on each of the levels until you die. When you die, then you go back to the single score, but you want to keep that as long as possible. Now you'll see how I do that in the game here. And I always like to start out at level 1, and it has little cartoons and things throughout too that are really cool too. And the 3D graphics are really great on this. I love, like, it looks like Lego blocks. I always thought that was great too. Love the 3D effect they had in this game too. And you do have fruits, things, cherries, things like that as well. You also have those as well. And even the fruit and stuff's in 3D too, which is pretty cool. And also, now that pellet right there, that's the double up pellet I was telling you about. That pink pellet I just ate. Now, as long as I don't die, I continue to get double up. And that's one of the ways you get high scores on Pac-Mania, is you just keep that as long as you can. And that's the trick with Pac-Mania, is to hold on to that as long as you can without dying. And you're going to find that the jump button comes in really handy. You can time your jumps and everything accordingly, so you can really get around some of the ghosts and things by using that jump button effectively too. Now that completes the first level. Then you have a little cartoon. I always thought the cartoons were really cute too. Really, really beautifully put together game. And I like the fact too that the color palette changes on each of the rounds as well too. Really, really great stuff. And there's a regular fruit. We have a fruit just like in regular Pac-Man. You got fruit. Now the yellow pill that you saw there on top there, the special item, that's actually a speed up. That gives you, that speeds things up. You can speed. That's a speed up. So. So you can see how that double up helps. Ah! Oh, it got me, guys. I tried to time that just right. Got me there. But you get the idea now. You get the idea, though, seeing how this works now. You get the idea. And you can also jump around a corner like I did there. You know, if you time the jumps right, you can go around the corner, too. Very, very cool stuff. Now, even though I'm only getting single now because I died, you can still get pretty good points if you line them up right, just like that. Still can do pretty good on the points. There's a special item there. That's 6,000 there for that. And you see how I'm timing the jumps accordingly? I got 100,000, so I got an extra man. And if you do die, you know, the thing is, if you have the double up and you do die, don't get frustrated. Just keep going, because it is hard. Sometimes it is hard to hold on to that double up. It is tough. Oh. I do like the jumping ability, though. I do think that is a neat aspect of this game, too. Now, the neat thing is, when you get to the higher levels, the ghosts can jump as well. In addition to you jumping, they can jump, too. Not yet, but you'll see when I get to one of the higher levels. If I can get to that higher level, you'll see that they can jump, too. And it'll let you know, too. It'll tell you, too. Alright, let's see if we get past this one here. I think that's it for this one. Yeah, see where it says Funkies at play, be careful, beware of jumping monsters. Now they can jump too. And that's what's great about this game. It has so many fun things that go along with it too. And you notice that the round changed too now. You notice the scenery's a little bit different now, different type of objects and things. Really, really great stuff on this game, guys. Beautiful design. So there you go, guys. So there's Pac-Mania, a game I highly recommend that you try if you get a chance. Really, really great stuff. It's also in stereo sound too, which is pretty cool too. If you have your cabinet featured hooked up for stereo like I do on these left and right speakers, that also will produce in stereo as well. I have amplifiers, LaPi amplifiers that actually produce in stereo as well in the back of these too. Alright guys, and I want to mention too, by the way, if you want to help show your support for the Kurt's Place channel, I do have merchandise available. There's a link to the Kurt's Place channel store in the video description down below. Alright guys, thanks again for tuning in. Hope you have a great day now. Bye-bye now. We'll see you next time. Now we're going to play some Donkey Kong Jr. Now the Donkey Kong Jr. is actually being played on my Heritage Bar Top Arcade Machine. Now the Heritage Bar Top Arcade Machine was actually built to honor my mom. And then this is one of these really great games that they have on this. Now this actually uses a game board called Game Elf. I'm actually going to show you at the end of the video what the screen looks like for Game Elf at the end too. Now this was made in 1982. This has a lot of the same qualities that Donkey Kong has. The same, very similar sounds and things too. And the same brilliant program that went into Donkey Kong went into Donkey Kong Jr. So let's begin. And you're going to see it's got that classic Nintendo sound that I love from the 1980s. When this game came out, I was 12 years old, so I remember this very well from my childhood. Now, one of the things you're trying to do in Donkey Kong Jr. is you're trying to smash enemies with these fruits and things you're going to see throughout the different levels. Now, the more enemies you get underneath the fruit drop, the more they're worth. So you want to try to get as many as you can in one fruit drop. There's actually four different stages to Donkey Kong Jr. Just like there were with Donkey Kong. Same thing with Donkey Kong Jr. Hopefully you'll get a chance to see all those in this gameplay here that I'm doing. Now this coming up, it's going to be our first chance to get 2 enemies underneath one fruit drop. As you're going to see here, I'm going to try to do it here if I can here. Okay, now I'm going to line up there. Now he's going to be there. Now there's the first one, and then it's going to go down, and it's going to hit the second one. And that's one of the ways you get high scores in Donkey Kong Jr. is you just keep doing those fruit drops. So that's going to be the first stage. Now you're going to see the second stage, which is, I call it the key stage, where you have to put the keys in the locks. Once you have all the keys unlocked, then Donkey Kong will drop down and you'll clear the stage. And you also get a neat little cartoon as well. Really, really cool stuff here. Now somebody may comment. They may comment that there's a few sounds that are missing from from Donkey Kong Jr. here, such as the climbing sounds and some other things. Game Elf does a great job with the games, but there are a few missing sounds as well. And there's a neat little cartoon there. The gameplay and everything, though, is just like the real one. It's perfect, just like the real game, too. Now there we got another 2 there. I got 2 there. Now the timing and stuff, to get the timing and everything down right and all that, it just takes practice to get that timing down right when you're dropping on the enemies and stuff. Just have to play it a number of times to get to the point where you get better at it. And I was going to mention too that if you want, now one really cool thing, I live, when I go to Baltimore, I go to Maryland. There's a mall called Anne Arundel's Mall, and there's a Dave & Buster's at Anne Arundel's Mall, and they actually have a Nintendo Trio cabinet there. It has Donkey Kong Jr., and Mario Bros. All in the same cabinet at Anne Arundel's Mall near Baltimore, Maryland. Very, very cool stuff. So you can still find this game in arcades too. Now here I'm going to get 3 here. See that how I got 3 of those? So it gives me extra points for that. So that's why you want to do it as much as you can. Now the third stage you're going to see. Now this is, I call this the bird stage. This is the third stage you're going to see. Now that little move I just did there, that was a move I timed it perfectly so I could do that. Now when you're on this level here, what you have to do is you have to try to time yourself to go between the birds. It takes a little bit of practice, and what you want to try to have it so when you see the bird on the top vine, that's when you're going to make your move to go to the bottom. I'm going to try. Now you're going to see here how I make my little move there. Now I wait until he goes back to the top vine, then I can move over. And you just have to practice it. It just takes practice to get to the point where you can do that. So now we're going to get some points for that. And we complete that stage. Now I'm going to go back to one of the original stages. Now what you're going to notice is when you go back to the original stage, it's going to be harder. It's going to be the same stage, but it's going to be a little bit faster, a little bit harder. Now like the keys that I'm on now, this is going to be a little faster than the last stage that I was on because I'm on the second version of it. Now things, for example, like when I was standing in the bottom, I could get by in the bottom. Well, now the birds are going to go down all the way in the bottom, so I can't get away there as easily as I did in the first one. And we got it. All right. Now the music's going to be a little bit different here. So that's a great game. Isn't that neat? What a great game. Now, what I was going to say about somebody, about the missing sound bits, the little missing sound clips and things on the games, I find that that's true with the Pandora's Box too. But honestly, guys, I don't mind the missing sound as long as the game plays the way it's supposed to. I don't really mind having the missing sound clips on these game board games. Now, my main versions that I have, they tend to not have missing. They tend to not have as many missing sounds because I can download the sounds separately and put them into the game, so it tends to not be as noticeable on some of the main games. But these board games are still very, very cool. I love Game Elf and I love the Pandora's Box boards. I think they're great games, especially if you don't have any knowledge about computers. They're great because you don't have to have a computer. The game board is the computer, which is kind of cool. You don't have to set them up and stuff. MAME takes a lot, you know. You have to learn how to set things up in MAME and stuff. I've been playing MAME for most of my life now, so I've gotten very, very good at it. here's another chance where I can get 3 of them here. Gonna wait till they see. You just have to wait until they line up. They're not lined up yet, but I'm gonna wait there. As long as my timer doesn't run down, I can continue waiting there, which is what I'm gonna do here. There they go. Now we got 3. See, now I'm gonna get 3 here. See, 1, 2, 3. See? Now this is the 4th stage. This is going to be the hideout. Isn't that sharp? Isn't that neat? I mean, it's just such a great game. Now here you just have to be careful because there's a lot to keep track of here. It's all about timing. Let's see, I might be able to get it this time. Let's see if we can get it this time. I think we can. Let's see. And we got it. Now things are going to get considerably harder now. Now I'm actually on the third level of this, and now it's going to get really fast. Oh, I thought we had that one. Oh man, not quite. But you see how it's getting faster. That's what I was saying. It gets faster. It really speeds up. That was a nice drop right there. There we go. So now you can see I played this game for quite a while. Gotten pretty good at getting through some levels, but it gets a lot harder now. So. Now we have another three coming up here. If we can time it right, we got another 3 coming up. See, and I'm just going to wait here until the other one lines up there underneath there. See, it takes, sometimes you have to wait like a minute or so for them to line up, but usually they'll line up. Now, of course, you don't want your timer to run out either, but I have plenty of time there, so we're good there. There he goes. Oh, we got another 3 there. Now this stage coming up is going to be, I call it the bird 2 stage. This is very difficult, this stage, because you're going to see the birds are very, very tightly packed together here. And even here you got to be careful because you got to leap through the air to grab that one. Now this is where it's going to get really tricky. You got to time it so you go right between the birds, but it's tough. They are really, really coming now. Oh man! But you see how tough that is? That really gets tough. This level 4 really, this bird stage really challenges you. Now to put it in perspective, how hard this stage actually is, I've only made it through this stage twice, and all the times I've played Donkey Kong, I've only made it through this stage twice. Oh, well there you go, guys. So there's Donkey Kong Jr. Now what I'll do here is after I put my high screen here, so I'll go back to the game L screen to show you the menu and stuff. You know, just show you some of the games and things they have on there. Very, very cool board. So there you go, guys. So there's not bad, 89,000 point game. Now I want to mention, by the way, if you want to help show your support for the Kurt's Place channel, I'll do a merchandise available. If you want to check out the merchandise store, just go to the video description down below. There's a link to the Kurt's Place channel store. You can get things such as hats, mugs, and keychains. All right, now let me go back to the main menu for you. The way you do is you hold the 1 player button down, and that'll actually will bring up a screen where it's going to ask if you want to exit, and you say exit, and then you can actually go back to the main screen. Now this is actually the main screen for Game Elf, and you see it's pretty neat how they put the screen together. They have a little game preview for all the games on here, and then you can skip through them like you want. And each one has its own little preview, so you can see you get a lot of games for the money here. Really, really great games. You know, there's games like Miner, Mikey, and all sorts of games on there. You know, Mr. TNT's in there. You got games like Nibbler, a lot of really great Pinbo's in there. You know, a lot Rock and Rope, really, really great games in there too. Really, really cool games in here. You know, I don't remember exactly how many. I think this has almost 1,000 games. This Game Elf, but very, very cool board. And then when you want to play a game, you just go to the game you want to play, and then you just hit the start 1 player start button. That'll start the game. Like if you want to play Mappy, you just go to Mappy and you just hold the 1 player start button down, and that actually will bring the game up. See, and that's the thing that's nice about the Game Elf. It's like having a main computer, but it's all built into the board itself. And then you just program the buttons and everything. You just wire the buttons and everything in according to the manual to your control panel. It's a really, really great little board. All right, guys, I want to thank you again for tuning in to the Kurt's Place channel, guys. And as always, thanks again for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye, guys. See you next time. Have a great day now.